All right, the man, the myth, the legend, Tim Bailey is back with us now. You remember in our preseason show, we picked our 5 players that we were excited to watch this season. Well, tonight, Tim is going to give us his postseason top 5 position-skilled players, and then the other top 5, because we're giving love. We're giving everyone love.
All right, well, this is kind of like back in 7th grade gym class. Remember, we got to pick teams. I want this kid on my team. So that's what we're doing here. So, Tim, give us your top 5 skilled position players in the NIC-10 for this season.
Well, here we go. On offense, number 1, Connor Dennis has been a phenomenal player for Boylan for the last 3 years on offense, starting, for the Boylan Titans. Number 2, Cole Warren. Cole Warren has really been a true leader for that Hononegah offense for the last few years. Next here, you go Javius Catlin. Again, you can't say more than enough of what this young man has done for the E-Rabs, and then also to becoming the NIC-10 leading rusher this year. Next guy is Jamani Muhammad, heart and soul of Harlem's offense for like the last few years. Has really done a phenomenal job. It's going to be interesting to see what he does next year. My last but not least, Nico Bertolino. He's been really special for the Belvedere North offense all year, and he continues to do that throughout the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does at the next level. So I'm excited for those guys.
Okay, we got your 5, Reagan. Who are you going with, huh?
Hey, I think Cole Warren from Hononegah, obviously. I don't think there was any question there. I'm not gonna take your guy Connor Dennis, but Cole Warren, he is my go-to there. Obviously, can't go without talking about Isaiah Huey from Hononegah. We got to put him in there, give him some love, of course. And then, as you said too, Javius Catlin, the NIC-10's all-time leading rusher. Then what a title that is to have, and I think it was just awesome to see him, get that award, in his final game with the East E-Rabs. And then got to go to Nico Bertolino as well from Belvedere North. And then I have a little bit of a surprise here. I'm going to give you guys a new one. Messiah Tilson from the Guilford Vikings.
Yeah, I like that
He's
pick.
a sophomore. Scott really liked this one when he saw it. Okay, I think we're gonna see a lot from this guy the next 2 years. We said his name already a lot this season, and he's an exciting one to watch.
Yeah, he's going to be a terror, I think, the next 2 years on both sides of the ball and on returning kicks for Guilford. I like that pick. Good one. All right.
Let's go.
All right, I guess it's time for me to go here with my top 5. I think we've mentioned this guy already, Cole Warren from Hononegah. He's kind of my MVP for this year, too, because I've sung his praises all season long. He's just so efficient, plays within himself, doesn't try to do too much. He's got all these playmakers, and he always seems to know what the right guy to go to at a given time is, and he does that. So, and then lately, too, we've seen him pick it up with a running game, too. He's been running for some touchdowns lately. Yeah. So, Cole Warren starts off my list there. And then I'm going Nico Bertolino as well. Hard to leave this guy off the list. He doesn't get a lot of carries because, again, they have so many guys at Belvedere North. I think if he got the ball like 20-plus times a game, his stats would be pretty eye-popping.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
So I like Nico. And then you got to have Javius Catlin. So there's another unanimous pick in there, too. And, again, Catlin, what he did this year with an East team that was down this year, and they lost a lot of their linemen, and every defense was keying on him, and he still ended up being the NIC-10 rushing leader this year. So great job, J. Cat. Then I'm going with Muhammad. So that's 3 pretty good running backs right there, Bertolino, Catlin, and Muhammad. And Muhammad, to get all the yards he got this year with the struggles Harlem had on offense, I think was pretty impressive as well. And then my last guy is Boylan quarterback Connor Dennis, who is just an amazing player, and I love the way he throws on the run, Tim.
Yes.
When he rolls out, he can still throw that ball accurate on the run, better than some Bears quarterbacks we've seen in recent years.
He's the real deal.
Jeez, I don't know about that comparison.
He is accurate on the run.
Connor's the real deal.
That's it. Now, we don't want to leave all the other positions out of this, including the linemen and the guys on the defense. So, Tim, give us your top 5 guys at all the other positions.
Here we go. My first one is, this young man's been formidable pretty much all season. Andre Pilgrim, he's done a really phenomenal job, really just getting great pressure on quarterbacks and actually slowing running games down. I mean, he's in the backfield every single play. They're really going to miss him next year over there at Hononegah. My next guy, his teammate, Michael Floriance. I mean, you're talking about a guy that can actually plug some holes, get to the quarterback, move sideline to sideline well, a guy for his size and his stature. He's done a phenomenal job all season. My next guy, DB, Isaiah Huey. I mean, Northern Iowa is really getting a true stud. I said this last year on the show. She laughed at me when I called him a stud, but,
Isaiah, I would never laugh. Okay, I would never.
He has been a really true playmaker in the heart and soul of that defensive backfield over the last 2 years for Hononegah. My next guy up, Baron Scholl, I mean, this young man, he's only a junior. The things that I've been able to see him do this year as a junior, I can only imagine him now getting in the weight room, working on his strength and conditioning, working on improving his performance over the year, what he's going to be able to do next year. My next guy, Ryan Stark, linebacker for Boylan. I mean, he's the heart and soul of that Boylan defense. He plugs holes. He runs sideline to sideline well. I like what he does. He's a true leader. There's a reason why he's got that big C on his jersey over there at Titanland. So, again, those are my top 5.
Interesting. You got 3 guys from the Legion of Doom defense on your top 5. That says something about that defense, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're great, man.
Wait, okay, I do have one quick question for you.
Oh, boy.
Some of the Hananiga fans did stop me at the game last week, and they asked me, they were like, can you get Tim to say, "Go Indians"?
That ain't happening.
Sorry, guys.
I wish him luck.
I
wish him luck this weekend.
Good luck. I figured that wasn't going to happen,
He
folks,
showed
but I
plenty
did
of
it.
love right there.
That's
Three. I'm proud of you.
That's not part of my vernacular.
That's big of you. That's big of you. Okay.
All right, Reagan, so who's in your top 5? 5 Legion of Doom guys?
I think there's a few in there. Yeah, obviously I got to go with my guy, Isaiah, who I feel like I didn't realize I put him on offense and on defense, but, you love seeing him on both sides of the ball, obviously. Then let's go to Belvedere North. Eric Roman, linebacker there. I feel like he's always getting his hands on the ball, always getting some touches. I'm going to have to agree with you on the Ryan Stark choice because he's on my list as well. I think we've said his name quite a few times this season. He's always getting himself back there. And then Drake Brogy, O-lineman for the Hananiga Indians. I'm a big fan. You got to love the men in the trenches. You did your story on them this season. The teams don't win without those guys. So got to give them the love.
I agree.
And then Joe Holloway from Harlem. He's going to be my 5th pick. Someone we also mentioned quite a few times this season, and he was one of my sneaky favorites.
Okay, very good. Well,
it's a legit list. It's legit.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it.
No controversy here. Okay.
No, not at all.
I don't have to break you guys up. Can you say "Go Indians"?
Oh, I can, but I'm unbiased,
All right.
Well, she's wearing green tonight for a reason, though.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
really
saying.
messed.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Messed up there.
You're
right.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Let's get to my top 5 other guys here. Hey, Isaiah Huey. There he is once again, folks. It's unanimous with Isaiah Huey. He's about as good as a defensive back as I've seen in the NIC-10 ever. His coverage on the receivers is tight as can be.
Yes.
But then his run defense is superb too.
He comes up.
I've seen him come up, in the backfield and bring down guys with some hard hits. I've seen him on the edge making tackles. He does it all.
Yeah. Panthers are really getting a good one.
They certainly are. Okay, and then my next guy is Ryan Stark of Boylan, so we're unanimous there. Stark's he's just a beast. He's an animal. He plays aggressive. He's a hard hitter. He's all over the place too, and I think we've said it here. He's that backbone on defense for the Boylan Titans.
Soul, absolutely.
All right, here's another guy we've already talked about, Andre Pilgrim of Hananiga. Long guy coming off the edge there at defensive end. He's got good speed, good quickness. He's just a tremendous young man, good kid too. And next up for me is another edge guy, Joe Holloway Rockwell of Harlem. He's a lot like Pilgrim. He's got the long arms, super fast, super quick off the edge. If you give me Pilgrim on one edge of my defense and Holloway Rockwell on the other edge, I'm gonna create a nightmare there for any quarterback with those two guys. So, and then my last guy is here. I'm switching gears a little bit from you guys, so I snuck in somebody else here. Freeport linebacker Dawson Holland. Every time I was at a Freeport game, and a Freeport kid made a tackle, I'd zoom in on him with my camera, and it would be Dawson Holland.
How about that?
He's everywhere. Between the tackles, he's really strong, and he also gets outside on the edges to make a lot of these tackles, too. So Dawson Holland, I tip my cap to you, young man. Great season there.
And guys, if there was a such thing as called NIL money for the high school athletes, I think all the young men that we highlighted tonight would probably be millionaires.
Yeah.
I mean, would you think? They probably
Maybe
would be
someday they
millionaires.
will.
I don't want to start a petition for that.
Yeah, right.
Now,
I shouldn't have said that.
I know we have a lot of you out there who disagree with us, which is totally fine. We're all welcome to our own opinions, and I know a lot of you parents disagree with us because we didn't pick your kid. But I just want to say, when you got 10 teams in the league and you're only picking 5 skill guys and 5 other guys, you're really limiting it down. No. So we're not here to give out participation awards to everybody. So we make this really tough for a reason.
Well, as I stated to you earlier, it's a performance-based award. These are the young men that have been actually performing week by week by week by week by week. And, again, everybody can't be on the list because if you had everybody on the list, it probably wouldn't be a good list.
It's like letting everybody in the playoffs because then you totally destroyed the celebration of getting into the playoffs. I do want to point out there's you probably caught on at home that Isaiah Hui was the one guy who made all of our list on both skilled and non-skilled offense and defense.
Yes.
So I think that again says a lot about the year that Isaiah Hui had.
Yeah, that speaks to his talent. I mean, again, Northern Iowa was really getting the cream of the crop.
Yeah,
When it comes to Isaiah Huey. I mean, he's just been stellar all year for the last 2 years. But they're going to get a really good treat coming that way. I think he's going to be going to school, I believe, in the spring. Is what I'm hearing.
Oh, okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I am hearing that. But then again, if he's not in the summer, that kid's going to be ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now, Tim, if you had to pick right now your NIC-10 MVP, who are you going to give us?
My NIC-10 MVP right now, I got to go with Cole. I got to go with Warren. He's been the most consistent of the quarterbacks. Dennis has been consistent as well, but the games that I've seen Cole Warren play in, and there's been numerous games that I've seen him play, what he does offensively and when he gets in that huddle and what he's been able to do over this year has just really been nothing but phenomenal.
Okay. I got to agree with you there. I mean, if you're picking an all-around player, offense, defense, we would go back to Hui again because Warren doesn't play defense. But I would tend to go with Cole Warren for what he's done for the #1 team in the NIC-10 this year. 25 TDs at this point. And only 2 interceptions.
Yes.
Again, that goes back to him making good decisions with the football.
And then through 5 TDs last week against Auburn in playoff first round. I mean, come on. The kid's on fire.
Yeah.
And his work ethic speaks volumes to the actual productivity that we've seen this year.
And did you hear what Scott just said? He said the top team in the NIC-10 conference. Scott, do you remember who chose the Hononegah Indians to win the NIC-10 conference?
I think there were a couple people up here who maybe picked Hononegah to win it this year. So.
There's a reason why like I just said, there's a reason why she's wearing green tonight. I mean, she doesn't want to admit it, but she's a true Titan fan.
That's a win for Reagan and Scott. So that's 1 win for Reagan and Scott, and it's a big goose egg over here for Tim.
Tim won last year, so
that's fine.
I guess next year is the
we started over. Yeah, exactly.
Well said.
All right, well, folks, if you want more from Tim on local football, check out the Bailey Pod. You can find that on YouTube. He discusses high school football and other sports with local coaches and players.
All right, thanks so much, Tim. Of course, always so much fun to have the three of us together, right? All right, we'll be right back after one final break.